While I have got them all highlighted, what I can do is copy them so they're in the Windows clipboard, and I can go to transform and then mirror vertical, and that will paste them up vertically, and I can hit paste to copy the original ones back where they were. Now here I can do a lasso to select the top row, and I need to move them into position. Zoom in, move these up a little bit, and what I can use is my snapping tool to snap them to be 15mm away from the top ones. So I can roll over this, there's my extra snapping line there, and that's in position. Now I'll need to dynamically adjust that, and my dynamic OM is set for 30mm, so it adds the extra 30mm to the top of the mat for me. So we're almost there. The last step we have to do now is to apply the double mat to the middle openings. So I can lasso and select all of those. I no longer need to be in alignment mode, so I can turn that off. And down here in our properties window here, I can add another layer by clicking on this plus button, and that automatically adds a layer. Now I can adjust that layer by clicking in here and adding or subtracting from the 5mm step that I have already. There's a couple more things we need to do here. You can see that now the openings have phased out, and that is because they're on the bottom layer. So for the sprockets, so what we're going to do is to select each row of sprockets, and then in the properties dialog box which will pop up, we can adjust the layering for them, so we can bring them up to the top layer. So at the moment they're in the bottom layer of the mat board. We want to put them onto layer 2, and I'm going to do the same up here. And then in the layering here, select layer 2. And the last step that we might do is I can sort of see that if I zoom in, you'll see closer. Can you see that the top mat does not align with the sprocket on the top and the bottom? So what I'm going to do is select that sprocket, and I'm also going to use my shift button, put my finger on shift, and then click on this one so I can select those two sprockets, and I'm going to go to my alignment tools, and I want to set that to be 25mm in from the right rather than 30 to compensate for the extra 5mm step. And I'm going to do that now on the other side as well. So we zoom in on the left hand side. I'm using the mouse wheel once again to zoom in and out. I can lasso and select these two, or I could use shift select as I did previously, and I can now make these 25mm from the left. That has slightly altered the spacing here, so what I'm going to do now is to zoom out, select the whole top row and respace it all, so I can select all of that and come across to equal space to redistribute the spacing evenly between all the sprockets. I can do the same at the bottom here, select the bottom row and then come across to equal space and redistribute all of that. And so reset the view. There you have it. There's our double mat film strip with sprockets. That's now ready to cut. So if we go into cut mode, that will show us our representation of our mat before we cut it, viewing it from the front, or we can click on cut from the back, depending on how you prefer to cut it out of your machine. Once again, if we go to click on cut, that will bring up an extra dialog here where we can choose which layer of mat we want to cut. So you can click on, say, the top mat first, and then click on cut layer, and after you've done that you can then click on bottom layer and then cut, and you've done the job. So that's how you can create the double mat film strip mat board design using the new Gunnar Mat Creator software.